In the dark, there is a strange comfort that lies within the ominous void where nothing is seen, yet there is an enticing yet intimidating voice calling out to you. To me, this is exactly what makes horror so great. So, what show freaks me out first? That's an easy one. Courage the Cowardly Dog. Where do I start with our beloved pink canine? How about with the episode that rocked our childhood, as well as the one I had to turn off halfway through as a kid? King Ramses' Curse. This episode doesn't start out too bad, just some robbers trying to get away with a cursed artifact and only be stopped by not the police, but the head honcho himself, King Ramses. Holy fuck, this isn't even the scene where we physically see him and he's already intimidating. I mean, just listen to his voice. It doesn't sound like something that's human at all, but just something not of this world. And the fact that it almost has a hypnotic tone to it that practically gets inside your head also added more points to the creepiness. Then, of course, there's a scene where we actually see him, and holy fuck, what the fuck is that bringing my flamethrower right now? Just the way he looks doesn't look natural. It almost looks like he doesn't belong in that two-dimensional world, and that's another thing that people find so scary about this episode, King Ramses' design. But you know what? One thing this show did was ease my way into horror. You may think it was Goosebumps, but it was this show that opened the door for me to peek in. Goosebumps dragged me into kicking and screaming. And damn, was it a creepy experience. And one thing I did learn from that writing-wise is that sometimes it helps keep your villain in the shadows until the right time comes to bring upon their terrifying reveal. Horror is an adventure. It exposes us to dangerous worlds that we have never seen before. Worlds where midnight never ends, the shadows engulf the living, and the supernatural becomes natural. With all of this in mind, that gives leeway for many possible dark puzzles / creatures that could be awaiting in these worlds. And the journey is going through the dark tunnel and seeing what's on the other side. And to keep things interesting, it isn't always light. With horror, you can bring a lot of atmosphere in a dark room. Picture this. It's a quiet, still midnight in your bedroom. All the lights in the house are off, and everyone is asleep. There's nothing but sounds keeping you company, along with the occasional wind gusts pressing against your window. This is already kind of a spooky setting, but when you put it on a horror film or read a horror novel, the spooky atmosphere is automatically up to 11. This is why I love horror so much, because it takes you to a complex world where you get to experience one of the most intense feelings of them all, fear. And there is nothing more magical than losing yourself in the supernatural during the spookiest time of the day. This is why I love horror so much, because as a kid, it was the one thing I would turn to. It was almost like a security blanket for me. And also, it's just the most gripping genre, in my opinion. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and sub for more content.